Hey guys, welcome to Trade Smart with Gerard. So this is going to be the 7th video out of a 30 episode for you guys to make sure that you guys are able to trade with our SOP. So we're going to be sharing with you each and every step of what we're going to do for the success of you understanding the SOP. So the most important thing for this chapter is we are going to make sure that you guys are able to understand two combinations of higher time frame setup marking from the buying point of view. Alright, so if today we get to make you understand, it'll be great. Second, this is also to recap engulfing buy to engulfing buy setups for you guys, but today it'll be interesting because we're going to be looking at two different time frames. So the first time frame that we're going to be looking at is from the weekly time frame. Then we're going to be looking at the H4 time frame for confirmations so that we are able to trade better and confidently with the market. So let's get into it. Before we start, I would like to show you that what is engulfing buy. So for those of you guys who are new, remember this. We need to start looking from the weekly time frame first. Weekly time frame is the bigger time frame when we're looking at the charts. So we need to make sure we start from at least the weekly time frame before going to a H4 direction. Alright, so the weekly needs to do this. First, remember, it needs to create an engulfing buy, number one. So this is the main thing it needs to do first, over here. Second, it needs to break out. It needs to come back into the zone and close as an engulfing buy. So you guys have known this already, right? So but the next thing that I want to share with you guys is make sure you guys have this line. Can you guys see this green line over here? So this green line would indicate that the confirmation has been done over here. So the line needs to be placed right after the confirmation. So when you have an engulfing 1 meets an engulfing 2, it means that you have found a weekly demand zone. So the next thing that you need to do is to place this line after the confirmation. I will explain later after this. So once you guys have found the weekly time frame, the next thing that you guys need to do is make sure you guys go to H4 because weekly is H4. This is how we trade, right? So for the same thing, in H4, you need to find at least the engulfing buy number one. First, it needs to create this breakout over here. It needs to make a pullback into the zone. And next, it needs to close as a bullish engulfing in this zone. So if it has done this, it means that you have a confirmation from the weekly time frame and also from a H4 time frame stating that both demand zones are taken. Alright, these are just demand zones. It's not purely confirmations yet because the confirmations you guys will be learning at video 25 to 30. But for now, you only need to understand how do we mark up to the point of video 25 to 30 so that you guys understand the whole flow of how we look at things. Alright, so next, let's move into the charts so that you guys can see clearly of what I was explaining in this video. Alright, so let's get into it. Hey guys, so based on what I have showed you guys earlier, I'm going to share with you guys the two setups, which is the first engulfing that you guys need to find is from the weekly time frame. So if the weekly time frame has to have an engulfing buy to engulfing buy, it means that first you need to mark where is the potential engulfing buy to engulfing buy. Let's backtest from all the way from this point all the way up. Alright, so the first engulfing buy that I can see from this zone is this. Right, so this is going to be our first engulfing buy. So for those of you guys who don't understand why is this an engulfing buy, make sure you guys watch the other videos and the previous videos that I've done for you guys. So this is an engulfing buy, and if we make a zone like this, what we can see is that this is an engulfing buy at first, price rejected, price and came back into the zone, and price closed as an engulfing buy. So that's what we're looking for in the charts, right? We're looking for engulfing buy to engulfing buy. So over here, what you can see is that price has created an engulfing buy to an engulfing buy in the weekly time frame. So when this happens, all you need to do is you need to find where is the confirmation of the second engulfing buy. So the second engulfing buy is this. This is the candle that broke this high over here, which means that we have this candle as our confirmation. So remember, you guys need to put a line on the candle after the green candle. I wanted to say above, but after the green candle, which means that after finding your engulfing buy to engulfing buy from the weekly time frame, you need to find which candle has the confirmation for you guys. So if the confirmation is this green candle, you need to place this line on the right side of it. So let's just leave this line over here. So the reason why the line is there is just to make your life easier, because after going from the weekly time frame, we're going to switch all the way down to a H4 time frame, and you guys need to find where was the setup being made earlier. So with this line, it is much easier for you guys to identify that the confirmation is from this line and after, right? So our next job is to find where is the H4 confirmation for the buy, because we have the weekly confirmation for the buy to the buy. So the next thing that we need to find is where is the confirmation for the H4 time frame. So let's find where can we find the engulfing buy to engulfing buy from the H4 time frame. Okay, start looking for it here, because it's important for you guys to know that setups does not really come all the time. But what I'm teaching you guys over here is just basic stuff for you to understand how do you mark engulfing buy to engulfing buy. By using two time frames, you are able to trade confidently with the trend. So this is only part 7 of a 30 videos that I will share with you, Hail Mary setup. So make sure you guys focus and listen to what I'm gonna say. So remember, we have found the weekly confirmation for the buy, engulfing buy to engulfing buy. We have the line to confirm that right after this line, the only thing we need to find is an engulfing buy to an engulfing buy of a H4 time frame. So let's start looking from this zone, right? So we can use this as our first engulfing buy. So as you can see, price did a breakout and price made a pullback into the zone. But what happened is that price only left as shadows inside the zone, which we don't really want it like that. We want it to be inside the zone fully, so that it closes in the zone. Okay, so for this, you can just leave this marking over here and keep looking for engulfing buys along the way. So we can mark this zone as our engulfing buy, and we can also mark this as our engulfing buy. These are zones. You are not supposed to be trading in these zones anyways. You need to find for engulfing buy to engulfing buy in this. For example, look at what's happening over here. So we have confirmations of the first engulfing buy that happened. The breakout happened and there was sideways along the way. The next thing it needs to do, it needs to reject back into the green or the yellow box that we have marked as our H4 engulfing buy. So once we have found that, the only thing we need to do is we need to wait for price to come back and pull back into the zone for it to close as another bullish engulfing. So as you can see, price created another engulfing buy, which is this red and green candle. So which means that we have both confirmations from a weekly time frame plus a H4 time frame. So remember, the next thing that you guys need to do is consistently looking for the buys, because we have two confirmations from two different time frames. So any retracements back into the box is for the buy. Look at how it rejects. It came back into the box again and it went up for the buy. So remember, always trade with the bigger time frames, because if you guys are not trading with the bigger time frames, you guys would be lost in a way. It's due to the fact that we as retail traders need to follow the bigger guys. So look at this again. This is an engulfing buy. Price created another engulfing buy in this zone, as you can see. So, and this zone has been created as another engulfing buy. Price rejects and price keeps on flying up and up and up. Again, along the way, what did it do? It closes another engulfing buy over here. So that's why it's important for you guys to always follow the trend. As soon as you see this engulfing buy to engulfing buy from a weekly and H4 time frame, you guys will be able to understand why did it move that way. Alright, so follow up to the next video, and thanks for watching.